We were into our admin page and we saw how we can go to our admin page. Just have to do /admin and it is going to give you this login window. We have created a super user, and using that super user we can log into this admin page. So let's create a login window with our super user. Okay, so now I am into my admin page and I have created a few blocks already. Like here you can see blog object 1, blog object 2, 3 and 4. So if I try to go into one, so this blog is a simple blog. I just have a title and some description. This is just a dummy text. You can go to lorem ipsum generator and just copy this dummy text in order to just have a little block for you guys. Okay, so I have just created 4 simple blocks here, which will be rendering out into our front page. Okay, so now small thing we need to do, instead of just having this block object 4, 3, 2, 1, these are not really helpful names, right? So how we can display our titles over here? So for that, what we can do is into our code editor, here we had models.py file, right? This is the model that we created. So once this model is created, what we need to do, we need to return its title. And how we can return the title? We can create a function. Okay, so now what this function will do, okay, this return statement is failing. Okay, so now what this function is going to do, this is going to return the title as soon as this model is created, or as soon as an object of this model is created. Okay, so now once we go to this and try to refresh this, okay, so now here you can see, instead of just having the block object 1, 2, 3, 4, now we are actually getting the title of these blocks. Okay, so into your models.py, make sure you create this define underscore underscore str underscore underscore function. This is an inbuilt function of a class which is going to return some property as soon as the object is created. Okay, so let's try to create one more object over here. We'll go to add blog, and here I'll give the title as 5th blog, and the text will be again the dummy text that I have included from lorem ipsum, and just hit save. So here you can see now 5th blog is added to the blogs. Okay, so that was a small change into our models.py file. Now we can create this blogs from admin panel, and we can display it on the admin panel, but this is not really helpful. We don't want only our super user to create and display the blogs. Okay, we want all the users will be able to create a new blogs and will be able to read these blogs, right? So what we need to do, we need to take this data and render it out into our home page, right? Because just keeping this data into our admin page is not sufficient. We need to take this data from the database and we need to render it out, or we need to display it into our web page, or that is home page or details page, any page we want. Okay, so now how basically we can take this data and render it into our front page. So let's go back to our code editor, and here we have our home page, right? And basically now currently what this home page is doing, it is just telling that this is the home page of our app. So let's go to this page, and this is at /blog/home. Okay, so let's go to /blog/home. Okay, and this is going to tell me this is the home page of my blog app, and on this page I want all the blogs that were created. Okay, so on this page I am going to list out all the blogs that were created. So now how can I do that? Okay, so now let's see how we can take the blogs or take the data from the database and display it on the template. Okay, so for that, into our code editor, inside the views.py file, okay, because these functions are going to handle all your data in database, right? Into our PPT, inside that main diagram, we saw that views is connected to database, right? So let me show you guys again. Okay, in this diagram we saw that only views is connected to database. Okay, so now not URLs can communicate to database, or not templates can communicate to database. Whatever the data handling is going to be done, that is going to be done by the views. Okay, so inside our views.py file, what we are going to do, first we are going to import that model from the database. Okay, so we are going to say from dot models import, which model do we want? We need blogs. Okay, so from dot models import blogs, and now we can access the data that is stored inside these blogs. So how we can we access it? First we need to say, we need to create a variable all blogs. We can give any name. Okay, just I am making it more easy to understand. All blogs equal to blogs dot objects dot all. So now what I am telling, take all the objects store inside this model blocks and store it inside a variable all blocks. So this all blocks is going to be list of all the blocks that is stored inside this model. Okay, and now once I have this all blocks, I need to pass it to my front page, that is homepage.html. Okay, once I have retrieved all the data or all the blocks from that model, I need to pass it to my HTML page. So now how we can pass this data to the HTML page? What we need to do is just create a key value pair. Okay, a small dictionary. We saw in Python, right, how we can create a dictionary using curly braces, and a dictionary will have a key value pair, right? So now you need to give a key. We'll give the same name, all blogs, and we need to give the value as the variable name that we have just created, all blogs. Okay, so this might seem little confusing, but just remember what we did over here is that we created this variable all blogs, which will contain all the data that is stored inside our models. Then we assign it to blogs.objects.all. Blogs was our model, and we say that take all the elements or all the data that is stored inside it, all the objects, and just store it inside this list. And now what we are doing is we are passing this list to our HTML page in form of a dictionary which has a key and a value, and basically they are the same, all blogs and all blogs. It doesn't matter what you name them, but just we need to pass a dictionary as a key value pair to this render function. Now this data is linked with this home page. Okay, so is it a little bit clear to everyone? It may seem little confusing, but it will be more clear when we render out this data into our front page. Okay, so till now everyone is following along.
Hi Tarun.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Actually, I'm stuck in this admin page. Yesterday's, I forgot how to create a super user because I'm not able to log in. Could you please repeat once?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay, so in order to create a super user, what we need to do is just I'll create a new terminal over here, and the basic command to create a simple super user is python manage.py and create super user. Okay, so once you run this command, this is going to ask you for a username. Okay,
I'm not able to see
yeah,
I'm not able to see your presentation.
okay, my screen is not visible.
Yeah.
Everyone else, is my screen visible? Please let me know. Okay, it is visible to others. Okay, ma'am, I'll just let you know about the super users at the end once we finish our today's topic. Okay.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, but make sure you are like can see the today's presentation.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay, so let's get back. Where we just collected all the data from the database and store it inside a list called all blogs, and then we pass this list to a render function in the form of a dictionary, and now this homepage.html can communicate with this dictionary. Okay, it is that simple. Once we imported this model, we can just use it inside any function. Now what we need to do, we need to go back to our HTML page, that is homepage.html, and try to access this list all blocks. Fine. Okay, so now here we are into our HTML page, and what we need to do over here, we know in order to loop over a list we need a for loop, right? So now how can we write a for loop inside an HTML page? This is not a Python page, this is an HTML page, right? So in order to write a Python code inside an HTML page, there is a syntax, and the syntax is like this. Okay, so inside this curly braces, percentage, and closing with percentage and curly braces, you can write your Python code. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll just write for blog in all blogs. Okay, and then also we need to end this for loop first. Okay, so this is how you write a for loop inside an HTML page, and this is a Python for loop, right? Because Django supports Python language. So this is a Python for loop, and it is very easy for blog in all blogs. And why all blogs? Because all blogs is the key of the dictionary that we are passing to this homepage.html, right? You cannot give any other name over here, right? But this is an iterating variable, so you can give any name. What we can do is, now we can just do h3, and we need to render out the data, right? So blog dot, let's say, title. Okay, so now what this basic syntax is doing over here is that we are taking this all block dictionary, we are iterating over all the elements that are present inside that list, and then we are just rendering out the data. And in order to render out a data, you need to use the syntax of double curly braces in Python. Okay, always remember to write a Python statement, you need to use the syntax of curly braces, percent, and percent curly braces, and write the Python statement inside it. But in order to display a data, the syntax is double curly braces and write the data inside it. Okay, so once I save this, and if I go to my home page again, okay, here you can see all the blocks title, first block, second block, third block, fourth block, fifth block. Okay, so this is how you render your data that is stored inside your database into your front page. Fine, so now again I'll repeat the whole process. Okay, so now here we saw at the first lecture itself that only views is associated with the database. All the data handling is done by views, right? Collecting the data, deleting a data, creating new data, or modifying the data. All these functionalities are handled by only views, not URLs and not templates. Template will only render whatever data a view passed to it. Okay, so now inside our views.py, okay, inside our views.py, first of all we imported that model, okay, using from dot model import blogs. Then we collected all the objects that were present inside it, and we passed that list of objects to our homepage.html. Inside our homepage.html, what we did, we wrote a for loop that is going to display out only the title. Okay, so now if we try to do a paragraph tag and try to display blog dot body, always remember this attributes title and body are coming from your models.py. Inside your models.py we have given the attribute title and body, so the same attributes should come into your rendering, that is blog.title and blog.body. Okay, so once I save this, go back to my front page and let's say refresh it. So now this is going to give me blog title, blog body, title body, title body. Okay, so yeah, this is how you create a front page of your blogging app. It is that simple. We just created these blogs inside our admin page, and we are just rendering out whatever is stored inside our database into our front page. Okay, this might not look very good to you guys. We'll be designing it with Bootstrap later, but make sure you guys are everything is understood what we have did over here, because this is how will be handling the database inside our views. Okay, so is it clear to everyone how we created this simple front page? Any doubt till now? Any doubt? You want to repeat something? Okay, moving forward. So let's try to make this page a little bit better. Let's try to add a nav bar. Let's try to add a jumbotron and all of the designing stuff, right? So now for that, we know that we have created initially two pages, that is home page and contact page. But what we did over that is, here I have just deleted those pages because we don't need them anymore. But in that, like suppose I have 10 pages, 10 HTML pages. For each HTML page, I need to write HTML head, this title, and again, if I need to import Bootstrap, I need to give Bootstrap links to each and every page. Okay, so that will be very tedious and hectic job and not a very productive job. Okay, so now what we can do is we can create one base layout HTML page that will be just an empty HTML page, which will contain all your links, all your scripts, and all your CSS and all those stuff, and we can just change the body itself. Okay, because this is going to be same for all your HTML pages, right? The head, HTML, and title. The only thing that is changing is your body, right? This part. Okay, so we don't have to write this headers and the headers and the links each and every time, right? So what we can do is we can create one basic template, and every template, every other template or every other HTML page can extend it. Extend means it can just use it as its base template, right? So let's try to create it and it will be much more helpful to understand. So inside our base template, so this is not inside the block template, right? This is not a block template file. This is the template folder that is outside your app and outside your root app. Okay, this we have created, and here we had created this blog and home page and contact page. But now what I'm going to create over here is I am going to create a base layout .html page. Okay, and this page will be nothing but a simple HTML page, this page, which will have my title, okay, and now whatever I write inside my body should be changing, right? I am not defining what the body is, but all the other templates will use this body as their main body. Okay, so now I don't have to write the content myself, but this content will be replaced by other templates. So now what I can do over here is I can create a placeholder. So we know we have seen placeholders inside a Python course, right? So now how can I create a placeholder for this body? What we can do is we can again create the same syntax, and I can write here block content. Okay, and also we need to end this. Okay, so this is the syntax of creating a placeholder for all your content in all the templates. What we created a block that is named content, and all the content inside all your apps, inside all your templates will be placed over here. Fine. The basic idea is that we are creating this empty HTML page which will just have a empty body and some placeholder, that is a block of content, and all the content that we write in other pages will be replaced at this position. Okay, so let's see how we can use this empty base layout inside other templates. If we go to our blog, if we go to our homepage.html, and let's try to delete this everything. Okay, here I need to write the content that should be placed in the body of the base layout. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to say extend okay. So now extend base layout.html is going to tell the Django that yeah, this page is a part of base layout. So whatever I am writing over here should be linked to base layout directly. Okay, and now how I can write the content? What I can do is I'll just again say block content, end block, and whatever should be the content is written inside this place. Now what was our content? We had a for loop, and there was the body of the blog. And then we need to close this for end this for loop. Okay, so now what's happening is that we have extended the base layout.html. Okay, and what base layout.html contain? It contains all your head, all your title, all your meta tags. It will also contain the links and the scripts that we are going to import from the Bootstrap. Okay, so that we don't have to write it every time inside other functions, right? So now let's see what is the output of our this code. If we go back to our page, extend is not a keyword, it is extends, extends. Okay, so now we are having our same blog again. Okay, but what is missing here? We didn't give the title. Suppose if I give a title over here, say h1, and we'll just give a simple blog app. Okay, so now if I give this simple blog app inside our base layout, this simple blog app title is going to be continued to all the pages that we are going to render, because these pages are going to render at this content or this blog, but this simple blog is our inside our base. Okay, and base is going to be extended by all other templates. So now if we refresh this is going to give me simple blog app. Fine. So now let's link Bootstrap with this. Where is Bootstrap? In order to get Bootstrap, we need to write Bootstrap and go to Bootstrap documentation, and this is the CSS file we need. Just copy it and paste it. Now we don't have to paste it inside our each and every single HTML page. What we'll do, we'll just paste it inside our base layout, that is just above the title. Go here, paste this link and save it. So now each and every template that we write, or each and every HTML page we write, is going to contain this link automatically. Why? Because it is going to extend this base.layout. Fine. So we don't have to copy paste this link in each and every HTML page. Once we write it inside base layout, it will be applicable to all the HTML pages that we write. Okay, so also next thing, we need to copy this JavaScripts, copy it, and just before the body tag ends, okay, we need to paste it. Okay, so now this base layout is complete. We have our Bootstrap links, we have our script tags, and let's see what changes do we get inside our. Okay, so now what happened over here, just the font is changed because this is the default Bootstrap font, and once the font is changed, we know that successfully Bootstrap is implemented. Okay, this title was inside the base layout, but all this data is coming from the homepage.html, but it is also being applied the Bootstrap font because this homepage.html is extending the base layout, and inside the base layout we have the Bootstrap links. Fine. So now this concept that we just did is called extending of templates. Okay, we just created one empty base layout, imported Bootstrap in it, and each and every page that we write is going to be applicable to Bootstrap because it is going to extend the base layout. Fine. So that was the concept of extending templates. So now let's try to make this a little better. What we can do is we can create a Jumbotron over here for this simple blog app. Okay, just forget it. We'll just start from making nav bars. So now if we go to Bootstrap inside the components, okay, here if we scroll down, and here you can see nav bars. Okay, So if you go to navbar, and here you can see all the different type of navbars that you can make. You can have a logo, or you can have just a simple navbar with drop downs and pricing, feature, home, everything. Okay, we don't need all those stuff. We'll just take this first navbar, a simple navbar with a search bar. What you need to do, just copy all the code, okay, till here. At the end, just copy it and paste it. Where do we need a navbar? We need a navbar at the top of the page, that is above this heading. So what we'll do is, above the top of this heading here, okay, so what we can do is we can just paste all our code that we have just copied from the Bootstrap documentation, save it, and if we go back and say hit enter, you can see a navbar is created inside the main page. Okay, so let's try to edit this navbar now. We don't need this. This is not actually a very helpful navbar. So starting, what we have is we have a nav tag that has a class navbar, navbar extend lg, navbar light. So if I change navbar light to navbar dark and bg light to bg dark, so now this is going to change our navbar from light to dark. Okay, so now this looks a little bit better. Next thing what we can do is we can change this logo over here, that is written inside this class of nav brand. Okay, so nav brand can be changed from navbar to, we can give it any name that you want. Let's say our name is, we'll just give it a blog app name. Okay, once we go back, hit refresh, you can see the name of your website is changed from navbar to blog app. Okay, so now what we need suppose say home, but we don't need this drop down anymore now, or this all things we don't need now. So what you can do is, those can be found out here inside this li. Li means the list items, right? So you can just remove these li's up till here. Okay, I'll just remove them, and here you can see they are gone. And now you can create your own list items over here. Suppose you want home, you want about page, you want contact page. Okay, so let's try to make that. How we can do that is that we'll say li class, and what class should be, it should be nav item. You can see from this home tag, okay, this li has a class of nav item. Then there is an anchor tag with class as nav link. Okay, currently href is not going anywhere, so we'll just give hash, and inside that you can write about. Okay, save this, and if we go back, this is going to give me an about tag over here. You can just create any number of items you want inside this. So let's try to create a contact page also. We'll just remove this spans, we don't need it. Just copy this li again, paste it over here, and we can just write contact inside this. Okay, so now our navbar is complete. We have our website name, we have home, we have contact, we have about page, and then we have a simple small search bar over here. Okay, so now what else can we do into our designing? We can create a jumbotron for this simple blog app. So let's try to create a jumbotron for this. Okay, so now how we can create a jumbotron is that we saw we need a div which has a class of, okay, and inside that we just have to give the text that we need to display on the jumbotron, and then we need to give a class of text center. This is going to center our app. Okay, so now our page looks much better. We have a navbar, we have a title, and we have all the blocks that we have created. Okay, So it was that simple. What we did is we first imported Bootstrap into our uh, base layout.html, and also we need this navbar and this title in all the pages that we are going to go. Suppose we go to contact page, we go to about page, we need this navbar constant, right? And what is constant? The base layout is constant. So we created this navbar into our base layout, and all the pages is going to have this navbar because all pages will be extending this this base layout.html. Okay, so you can just go to your Bootstrap again. What we need now, we need to create the cards for each and every blog. Okay, this blog will have a card, this blog will have a card, this blog will have a card. So now let's try to create a card. So inside our card, okay, this is the simple card that we need to create, and here is the code for that card. Okay, so let's copy this code. Let's go back to our, okay, so now we don't have to create this card into our base layout.html. Why? Because where this data is rendering, this data is rendering into our homepage.html. So once we go to homepage.html, what we need to do is, I'll just delete this code once again, because now we need to render out cards, right? So inside and for also we need to delete because we don't have a for loop right now. Okay, so now what we have is we just have a block content. Okay, so we just have a block content and we have a end block. So inside this block content, suppose I pasted the code for a card and go back to our home page. Okay, here you can only see a card is there and other data is not present, and again we have our navbar and this jumbotron because they were in base layout.html, but here we just have our card. And right now we don't have any image for our blog, so we'll remove the image tag. Here is the image tag, let's remove it. Okay, and then we have card title, and then we have a para tag. Okay, that's what we need a title and we need a para tag. Okay, so now we need to see how we can, we don't need a simple card, right? We don't need a single card, we need multiple cards. The number of elements that we have inside our database, the number of blocks that we have, is the number of cards that we want to render. Okay, so now how we can repeat this repeat this block again and again, is that again creating a for loop. Let's create a for loop. Okay, and end it after this div. Okay, so now this cards will be created for all the blogs that are present inside all blogs. Okay, so we are running a for loop, and for this for loop the number of cards will be rendered out. Okay, and before doing that we need to create a container that will contain all this Bootstrap or all this content. So let's try to create a container. And we'll wrap just all our content till for loop inside our container. Okay, so that is done. Now next thing, we don't need this card title as it is, we need the title that is coming from the blog. Okay, so now what we can do is inside double curly braces we can just write blog dot title. Okay, and in this para tag we don't need this dummy text, we need our blog body. So I'll just do blog dot body. Okay, so now we have our card completed inside our for loop, and inside writing go somewhere we'll just write read into our button. So if I hit enter, and here you can see we have all the blogs in the form of cards, but as you can see they are not in much a better form, but we can do that by using the grid system. But just make sure that now we have all the blocks in form of cards. Okay, till here everything is clear how we are creating the design of our front page. Any doubt till now? Okay, so let's try to make this a little better. We don't want them one below another. We want them side by side. Okay, so how we can create this side by side display inside our front page? That is called grid system. A grid is basically just dividing a screen into number of rows and columns, right, like we have a table. So Bootstrap also provide a grid system. Let's go to Bootstrap again into our layouts. Here we have grid. Okay, so if we saw grid basically works like this. A web page is can be divided into columns. So this is one column, two column, three column. Okay, so if we scroll down, we can also divide it in two columns or 1 to 3 columns and all of that. We can have number of rows and we can have variable width. So this is how basically grid works. Okay, so the basics of grid is that your complete screen from edge to edge or from container to start of container to end of container is divided into 12 segments, and you need to decide that how many segments you want inside one column. If you decide that each column will have 6 segments, then you will end up with 2 columns. Fine, because 12 divided by 6 is 2, so you will get 2 columns. So here you can see we are having 2 columns. Okay, this is one column, this is one column, because each segment, that is this card, is taking up 6 segments, and this is taking up 6. So 6 plus 6, the complete container is of 12 segments. Fine. So if I give each will contain 4, each card will have 4 segments. So 12 divided by 4, I will be getting 3 columns. Okay, so let's check it in code. But always remember that a container is divided into 12 segments, and we can create a number of columns using those 12 segments. Okay, so now how we can create a grid is that we need a row, and a row will contain columns. Okay, so let's create that. Let's create a row. Okay, and then each card will be a column. Okay, and we need to specify the width of a particular column, and that can be done using this Bootstrap classes. If we go to Bootstrap again, okay, here they have shown how we can create 3 classes like number 1, number 2, number 3, that is giving the class call sm. So let's try to do that, call sm. And if I save this and if I go to my page again, so here you can see now our front page is divided into columns. Okay, this is the first block, second block, third block, fourth block, fifth block. Okay, so this is how you can create a grid system inside your front page. That is, you can just give a row. Okay, this is one row that is creating 3 columns, and this is the second row that is having 2 columns. Okay, because there was not a 6th block. If we create a 6th block, this will again be divided into 3 columns, right? So this is how you create a grid system, but make sure you go to this Bootstrap documentation and read more about how you can create columns. Okay, what you can do is instead of writing sm, I'll just write 4. Okay, so now this is not basically dependent on the size of your screen, but writing call 4 means that each column will take up 4 segments of your container. Okay, we are inside our container, and each column is going to take up 4 segments, and we know that entire container is made up of complete 12 segments. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. Okay, so that's why we are getting 3 columns over here. If I change it to 6, so 12 divided by 6 is 2. So we should get only 2 columns over here. Okay, so if I hit refresh, here you can see first column and second column, first column, second column, and then there is first column. Okay, suppose you need to store 4 blocks inside one row. What you can do is call 3, because 12 divided by 3 is 4. So now you are going to have 4 columns over here. Okay, see, block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, and then there is this fifth block which is not inside this 4. Okay, suppose I change it to 2, and call to what I will do is 12 divided by 2 is 6. So it will try to fit in 6 columns inside your container. So how this will be very messy, I feel, because yeah, so now everything is overlapping because we are trying to fit in 6 columns inside our 12 width. Okay, so this is how grid system basically works. What you need to do, we need to give a proper column size. So let's say 3 or 4 is sufficient, I feel. Okay, so call 4 means that we have 3 columns. Next thing what we can do, we can change adjust the size of these blocks and also the font of this block. That is very easy. What you need to do, here you can see the width is 18 rem, right? So you can change it to, say, suppose a width of column is 100%, so you can change it to 90%. Okay, so this is a little bit wider now. Okay, so okay, we have our front page for a blogs app. Only thing missing is that we need to add images to these blogs that we'll be doing later. But make sure everything is clear till now. We have imported the models into our views and collected all the data that was stored inside our database that we created using the admin page. And then inside that views page, okay, inside our views page, what we did is we imported the models from blogs, then we collected all the objects and we passed all the objects to our home page. Okay, inside our home page we have a for loop that is traversing over all the blogs, and then we are just rendering out the data in form of cards. Okay, the next thing we saw today was template extending. Okay, how we can extend a template is that we created a base layout over here. This base layout will have all your headers, all your links and all your scripts, so that we don't have to write it in each and every HTML page. Okay, then we created this block over here. This block means that every content that we write in other HTML pages will be replaced over here. Okay, but we needed this title and the nav bar in all our pages, so we wrote them inside the base layout outside the content. Okay, so outside the content we created this nav bar, a simple navigation bar, then we created a little jumbotron, and then inside our homepage.html we created these cards. Okay, and this is the final output of our blogging app. Fine, so we have a nav bar, we have a title, and we have cards for all the blogs. So is it clear to everyone what we saw today? Any doubt? Do you want to repeat something? Okay, good. So make sure you guys are following along till this point, and I hope everyone will be able to create at least this page. And make sure you create few ready-made blogs inside your admin page so that you can be able to render out them into your front page. Okay, so what tomorrow we are going to see is, today we just created this blog through admin, right? So the admin was only one who can create this blog, and that too through admin panel. We are not creating this blog through our website. So now tomorrow we are going to see how we can create input forms that will take input from the user. We can take the title and the body from the user himself, and we can post it on this front page. Okay, then we'll be able that anyone will be able to write these blogs, or not only the admin. Okay, so in tomorrow's lecture, that is lecture 5, we'll be creating input forms. Okay, so I hope all these 4 lectures are clear to everyone: URLs, view templates, model migration, and creating a blogging app. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be seeing input forms. Any doubt till now?
Taral, creating super user.
Yeah, fine. Okay, so uh, fine. So let's see how we can create super user again. If anyone is not having any doubt, they can start working on their own. Okay, Sonali ma'am, can you see the screen now? Okay, so what we need to do to create a super user is that we need to go to our terminal. Okay, so I'll just delete this. I am into my terminal. I'll quit my server. Okay, so the command to create a super user is Python create sorry, not create, manage.py create super user. Okay, no spaces in between, just a simple statement, Python manage.py create super user. Okay, now once you hit enter, this is going to ask you for a username. Okay, so now you need to give in your username. If you have a default name, just you have to hit enter. But currently I already have a super name, so it is not using my default super username. So let's try to create a username. Let's say super user is my username. Okay, it doesn't matter, you give any username that you want, hit enter. It is going to ask you for user email address. It doesn't matter if you don't give, just hit enter. Then it will ask you for a password. I'll just give it a random password. Okay, and hit enter. It is going to ask you for password again enter the password. And after I hit enter, this is going to give me super user created successfully. Okay, so once this super user is created successfully, you can go to you need to run the server again. Okay, so python manage.py run server. So once the server is running, you just need to go to your slash admin page. Okay, currently I am logged in as Taral, so if I logged out and log in with the new super user that I created, his name was super user, and okay, I enter the password, hit enter. This is going to take me to my admin page. Okay, so clear how we can create a super user.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so everyone else, I hope you guys will complete till this front page that we have created. You can create your own designs, go to Bootstrap and just explore what are the components that they have. Explore the grid system, explore the nav bars, the colors, and you can create it as per your choice. Okay, this is not the compulsory front page that we want. You can just create it anyhow. You can create different colors over here. You can give different colors to your nav bar, different colors, different widths, or different column system to your page also. It's all up to you. Go to Bootstrap and just see what are they are providing and create as per your want. Okay, and I'll see you guys tomorrow same time with the lecture on input forms. Okay, any doubt, just let me know. If any error, put on WhatsApp groups. Okay, bye.